Most people who spend their weekends on the trail eventually hit that point where they start counting every single gram in their pack. That is exactly where this shelter comes in. It is not just another tent. It is a clever piece of engineering designed by Andrew Skirka, and you can tell he spent a lot of time thinking about how a thru hiker actually lives inside a shelter. The first thing you notice is that it ditches the traditional tent poles entirely. Instead, it relies on your trekking poles to create the structure. It feels a bit strange at first if you're used to a standard dome tent, but once you get the hang of the pitch, it is surprisingly sturdy. The whole setup weighs in at about 2 pounds and 4 ounces, which is pretty impressive considering you are getting a full double-wall system. You have the outer fly and an inner mesh tent that you can actually use separately if the weather is mild and you just want to keep the bugs off while looking at the stars. The materials feel solid too. That 20D nylon ripstop has a nice, crisp texture to it, and it does not feel like it is going to tear if you accidentally brush it against a sharp rock. Inside, you get about 16 square feet of space, which is plenty for one person to stretch out, and the peak height hits 40 inches, so you are not constantly hunched over while trying to change your socks. Now here is the thing about non-freestanding shelters. They require a bit of practice. You need to find a spot where you can actually stake it out properly. So if you are camping on solid rock or a wooden platform, you might find yourself getting creative with your tie-outs. That is the trade-off for saving all that weight. One detail that really stands out is the dual-door setup. You have a full-size door and a smaller gear door, which makes grabbing your pack or boots from the vestibule area way easier than crawling over your sleeping bag. It is those little quality-of-life touches that make this feel like it was designed by someone who has actually spent months living out of a backpack. Is it perfect? Well, nothing is. The setup can be a little finicky in high winds if you are not used to tensioning guy lines, and you definitely need to be comfortable with your trekking poles being part of the structural integrity. But if you are looking to shave weight without sacrificing the protection of a proper bathtub floor and a solid fly, this thing is a serious contender. It is not for the casual camper who wants a quick pop-up tent, but for the person who wants to cover serious miles. It is a smart, well-thought-out piece of gear that does exactly what it promises. It is lean, it is functional, and it respects the reality of life on the trail.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.